Hello everyone, this is Rajpreet here. As you know, we are going to talk about Nati today. And I'm going to introduce today Prabha Agraja, who is a late auditor, helping trainer, and also RTO in Australia. And also, I want to mention one thing it's today, which is first Nati Telugu Coaching Institute in Australia. Please welcome Prabha today in the show, please.
Hello, Rajbir. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Hi, guys. Whoever doesn't know me, my name is Prabha Agraja, as Rajbir has introduced. I'm an RTO consultant. I deal with RTOs with their registrations and their auditing requirements as a quality management consultant. Now, post COVID, now we have to say after AC and BC, after COVID and before COVID, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Now, after COVID, so things have changed, and a lot of international students have been suffering with the point system, and also people have gone overseas. And they're unable to come back to Australia, and and things related to NAATI. People are talking about NAATI. What happens to my NAATI? What happens to my test? And we are stuck in overseas. Then later we have done a research on NAATI. Even though we were not into NAATI coaching prior to this, we only were into PT through different partnerships. Then, as a subject matter expert from education sector, I saw the difficulty for international students. What they're going through, and they have been spending a very huge amount of money for these kind of tests. By mistake, if they fail this exam, they'll be repeating the exam by paying the huge dollars. Especially for NAATI test, they'll be spending around $800 to sit for this exam, and which is equal to $40,000, I believe, in Indian rupees, and the same unit world. So then NAATI, as a council, they have come up with an idea. Okay, they want to do this test all over the world, wherever the students are. Because of this COVID restrictions, they made it online test, right? It is an
Okay.
endorsed test, which anybody can achieve 5 points towards their migration to Australia for their PR pathway visa. So, as even though we are not migration agency at all, but we work with a lot of migration agents. We help the migration agents to understand the quality management system for their own channels, for their own protocols, what needs to be followed. Apart from their professional development, we were also started helping migration agents and also the education brokers to help international students with different skill needs, with different training needs. And one of the need which we identified is NAATI. Okay? And all of a sudden, in the month of July, we heard a great news that Telugu has been added as a language for community credential language. Okay, so what is community credential language? Because people talk about in everywhere and on social media, people are talking about CCL test 5 points, NAATI. So, but no one knows how to achieve. What is this 5 points? What is this community credential language? Right now, I'm coming to that point. Uh, this credential community language test will give anybody, whoever is eligible to sit for this test. If they clear this test, they'll achieve 5 points towards Australian migration. Now, how this test will be assessed? If this test will be assessing the candidates' performance based on the how they translate English dialogues to language other than English. Now, as I said, Telugu has been added. Before Telugu, people are attending Hindi, Vietnamese, Mandarin, different multinational languages. And also, one of the as an Indian, I started concentrating, doing research on our Indian ethnic languages, and one of the language has been added, which is Telugu. Then from 15th of July, we became, one of the coaching institute added in Australia to train candidates for this NAATI CCL exam to make sure the student passes with the first attempt. Reason is it is very short, fast-paced exam, and people are spending $800 for this exam, so they cannot take a chance as an international student, right? So that's the introduction. This is the session for today. We are talking about NAATI.
And I think this is really good option for everyone to start in a Telugu language as well. This is a great help for everyone. So before we start, I'm just going to ask a few questions. But as you know, we are live. There's so many comments is coming. I'm going to ask those comments as well to you so that we can help the students who's having a problem, whatever they want to discuss. We will discuss that as well. So before we start, just give a little bit introduction, like what is a NAATI test and what is the reality about that test and what is the duration about this test.
Perfect. So as I said, this is all about learning, having skillful with our own mother tongue. If we speak that language which is other than English, so their technical term is LOT. So we call LOT. So that's the abbreviation they speak about. LOT. LOT is nothing but language other than English. So if now we are talking about Telugu as a language, if we choose to attend the test for Telugu, then Telugu becomes language other than English. And the role what we will be playing, it's like a role play, right? So Rajbir, you're there, and Mr. Srihari is there. So two people are talking, and Rajbir can speak English. And imagine Srihari doesn't speak English, but he can speak Telugu. And I'm coming as a interpreter, right? I'm interpreting between both by transforming their dialogues to one to another. This is the test on language other than English. That means I have to understand English and interpret, and also I have to understand Telugu and I have to interpret to both the parties, so that I am sitting in the middle. So the test will be on the candidate to interpret information between two people. So this is what CCL test, this is what NAATI test, which we are talking today.
Okay. And can you talk about a little bit about duration for the test?
Yes. Okay. This is very short duration test because it's more verbal. There is no written test, So we are not writing anything. We are actually listening to the audio played between two people. So Srihari is talking, Rajbir is talking. Now I'm actually listening to both, each of their segments, and I'm actually repeating by interpreting the information for both the parties, as I said. So this test will has to be completed within 20 minutes. So the maximum duration of this test is 20 minutes. But how much you're paying? $800. $800. So we can never take a chance when we really sit for this kind of exam, especially with CCL test, which is giving 5 points to migrate to Australia, which is giving an additional skill to learn a language other than English. So basically you are becoming multilingual, even though we know the language. A lot of times we think that, I'm from Telugu background. Okay, let's say I myself, right, before July 15th and after July 15th, my Telugu language speaking skills has increased a lot, has elaborated like anything. I myself understood that, okay, I'm learning grammar because I have to teach the students. We're preparing the syllabus. Now we have to know the meaningful words, meaning for every English word. We started looking into the grammar, we started looking into the dictionaries, and there is something we call Nigantu in Telugu. So we started looking into that, finding words, interpreting.
Yeah, because while we are living in Australia, we're just trying to speak a lot of our language. But that's why we need to find out particular those words in a dictionary, because we don't speak that much here. So
Absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely, Rajbir. I
Yeah,
agree with you because now our lifestyle has changed where
yeah,
we came to a country where English is the common language for everybody. Now
exactly.
we stopped using Telugu words, which are very very important. Our ethnic words of the language, where background where we come from, we are
Okay.
actually almost forgetting. So 50% of the words are in English. Now,
Yeah,
thanks to Australia for introducing such kind of a test where it is really giving an advantage for people like
but
me
yeah,
who has migrated so long ago, and also to the new generation who wants to migrate, and they become multilingual. They really
yeah,
learn the language, and they teach their children also for the next
yeah.
generation.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, now,
Moving forward, I just would like to ask you a few more questions. My next question is, what skills are needed to clear this CCL exam? Like, if people fail in this test, they can apply again for this test, and how long it takes to apply other tests, like those type of things. I want to know.
okay, excellent. So it's good. A lot of viewers are maybe having the same question as you are getting, right? Good.
Yes, yeah.
Before
I'm
answering,
trying to help everyone. I know what type of
correct.
students finding a difficulty those days, and no one is here to help just because of COVID time. So I
Correct.
think this is the best option to give a live information so that we can help them and they can contact us. This is the easy way.
Absolutely, Rajveer. Now, before getting into the failing the test, because that is very negative for me, I want to talk positive things first. Why should
Yeah.
we fail? Why should we fail? We don't want to fail. It's a do or die.
Yes. Yeah.
We always do. So let's talk about doing.
Sometimes people, they are so much stressed, even though they know they just because of the pressurize themselves, they just forget to give the answer. It's just a small example I'm giving you. So
Correct.
that's why I just want to ask those type questions so that we can give more motivation to all students.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
Now, you said, okay, before failing, right? That means we
yeah,
need to prepare properly. So I'll come to the preparation part, how long it should be prepared, for this kind of CCL NAATI test. Now,
yeah,
uh, the format of the exam, okay? Let's take a look at the exam and how it really works in reality, how
yeah,
this test can be completed in 20 minutes, okay? What is the format of it, right? Let me talk about it.
yeah,
So basically, all these situations between two people whom I'm talking about, Srihari and Rajbir, they live in Australia. Okay, they are talking about authentic Australian society situations. Okay, that means we are catching a train, we are catching a tram, we are buying Mikey cards, right? We are
yeah.
actually we are buying Tiger Airways.
Yes,
we we are buying
yeah,
domestic flight tickets. We
yeah,
also go to the immigration office. We also help our family members. We go to the shopping. We talk to immigration offices. We talk to Centrelink. So there are number of Australian societal situations, right? So this test is not about some vague topic or some entertainment topic between two people. No, it's not about that. It is not academic topic. This is not IELTS. This
okay,
is not about paragraph translation. This is about societal situations. Two people are discussing and
yeah,
they will have a dialogue. So when I say dialogue, if the topic is inquiring at an immigration office about the parents' visa, that is a dialogue. So someone is
okay,
standing talking to the immigration officer, uh, asking questions about, so can I get an application form, how long it takes, what is the fee, blah, blah, blah. Oh, sorry. You can, and then the other gentleman is actually talking in English. Oh, sorry, talking in uh, Telugu, right? So one immigration case officer is talking in English, and this gentleman standing here is only knows Telugu or Punjabi, okay? And he is answering in Punjabi. Now I'm standing as an interpreter. Sir, this gentleman here is so and so Harpreet Singh. He's actually waiting for his mom to come back, and he's actually here, and mom is there. He wants to apply for a parent visa. Okay, So that is the situation, that is the dialogue which I will be interpreting as a candidate. Now,
Okay.
each dialogue will be approximately 300 words. Okay. So this two-way conversation will complete in 300 words. So how many dialogues I have to do in 20 minutes? Two dialogues. Okay. If one person is talking, if one audio is played, that is called segment. Then I have to interpret to the other side. Then this audio on the left hand side, which from immigration case officer is played, then I have to listen, then I have to interpret to this side. Okay. This each way is called segment. Okay.
Okay.
But once I complete both the ways and complete and conclude the discussion, conclude the dialogue, that is called dialogue. So this will go 300 words.
Okay.
So this dialogue is divided into different segments. Segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, segment 4, segment 5, segment 6. And each segment will be maximum of 35 words. So your grammar has to be very, very strong. You should have experience of learning grammar. I'm sorry, learning grammar uh, and without repeating the dialogue, you should be able to remember and interpret the right information to the examiner. Now the fourth character is examiner. These three characters are audio 1, audio 2, two characters, and I'm
Yep.
the candidate sitting in the test, and there is a fourth character who is actually observing how I'm doing. That is that person is examiner.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Total time allotted is 20 minutes. Now each dialogue carries 45 marks. So before going to the failing, first is I have to really, please don't mind if I'm taking more time, but we have to talk about marks. So each
No,
dialogue,
that's totally fine. You just take your time. Try to explain as much as because that is really helpful for the students. And I think after so much tough time, we should help the students so that they can come to us and they can do their test on time. So just
like,
take your time and explain as much as you can.
perfect, good. I love international students, so I really love to talk about any issues related to international students and their skills and their language needs. Now, each dialogue carries 45 marks, out of which they have to score minimum 29. So 300 words, first 10 minutes, one dialogue. Next 300 words, second dialogue. Okay, so altogether we have 600 words.
600 words.
So each dialogue will carry maximum amount of 45 marks. So how the
Okay.
mark will happen is they are not actually starting from 1 to 45. They're actually going downwards. So there is a 45 which is already there as a mark,
Mm-hmm.
okay, in the calculation. Then they'll keep reducing the marks depending on the mistakes the candidate is doing. This is reverse,
Okay.
you know. This is the technique
Yes.
a lot of people doesn't know. A lot of people will be thinking before going to the exam, any exam, they'll talk about, they'll be thinking, oh, my marks will go from 1 to 45. No, it's not that way. It's actually 45, and then your marks will be reduced depending on the mistakes you do. It's similar to a driving test. Driving test has got 100 points when you really sit for a driving test in the car.
Yeah.
The moment your marks goes less than 80, you're fail. Okay, in the driving test. But here in NAATI, we have total 90 marks, 45, 45. The
Okay.
cutoff for passing the test is 63. Okay, and we have to encourage the candidates to get 29 marks in each dialogue. In two dialogues, 300 words, 29 marks, 300 words, 29 marks. If they don't get it, they actually fail. Okay. Then if even if they want to go for a review, it has to be above 60. If it is less than 60, then they cannot even go for a review. So we have to be
Okay.
careful. Okay, now there are 24 segments in total because 12 segments on 300 words. and another 12 segments approximately. I'm talking like 6 segments of English, 6 segments of language other than English. It can be Punjabi or that can be Bengali. Okay.
Yeah.
Now marginal fail, as I said, 58 to 62.5. So that's fail, marginal fail. Then you can go for review. Otherwise, it's clear fail. So anything less than that is 100% fail. Okay. Now, before you even ask next question, I understood that you want to ask why people really fail. So,
Now, my next question is, what should you do if we are planning to take a NAATI? Like, what is the first step that you should do? Like,
okay.
if we can tell them, like, planning, coaching, testing,
Correct.
as we just mentioned them, what is the price? But
Correct.
what type of plans they need to do it before they take a test?
Correct. Basically, on the day of the test, they should be relaxed. Okay. And in order to be relaxed, they should be preparing well for the exam, way beyond at least 2 months. So give a time of at least 2 months of preparation. That's what I recommend. That is what educator also recommended for so many candidates who has approached us for NAATI coaching. And we have experienced trainers, who understood that there is a session plan. We clearly made sessions in such a way that they will be completing their appropriate preparation with 2 months of attending at least 12 or 16 classes minimum, and then taking the material and getting prepared for it. Okay, to gain the points, yes, because it's a bilingual test, so you really have to carry your dictionary, do your research at your own time. And some people, doesn't prepare at all, and they just go through some YouTube videos and they go and attend the sit for the test, and they may fail. And it depends because not everyone is same. So it's better to be proactive and prepare for the test to ensure they have enough preparation before sitting for the test. And breadth of the vocabulary, because main thing we always recommend is make sure the vocabulary has been prepared properly for the language other than English. Because since our common language in Australia has become English, and especially people sitting for this test, 90% of the people are already in Australia for more than 2 years. They're already used to speaking in English in every social situation. But the issue became where we are using very less vocabulary in our own language,
Yes, that's true.
and we are mixing up with a lot of English words when we really communicate.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And that is where they really fail, because in the exam we cannot have English words when we are talking in language other than English. And when we are translating to English, there are 90% of the candidates are there. They're clearing, they're getting points, but they're missing the points by mixing up with a lot of English words when they're actually interpreting the complex ideas, especially if the segment is really complex. They mix up with English words, and sometimes they breathe a lot. Sometimes they become nervous, and they don't have a proper note-taking preparation. Because what the candidate has to be prepared for this exam is note-taking very fast. Make sure when you sit for the exam that there is at least a full 5 6 white sheets with a pen, so that you are prepared when you're listening. You're making some shortcuts, notes, whatever. Once the segment is finished, then you have 5 seconds time to start interpreting. If you are taking more than 5 seconds, then you'll be warned. You'll be getting a warning. So make sure we don't get the warning. We don't take more time. In a 5 seconds, start, because you already took the notes. And when you're flipping the notes, don't waste your time. So once the dialogue segment is done, second dialogue, there is 10 seconds gap. Flip the notes, keep it ready with the pen and paper. Because that 1 second, 2 seconds is very, very crucial when we do this CCL test. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll move to the next question. My next question: if someone wants to go to the educator, or if they choose you, what type of service you provide to them?
Okay, right. We have a clear planned structure of how to train the candidates for NAATI test, especially with 5 languages. We have done the research, starting with Telugu. Yes, we started from on 15th of July. We started, even though it looks like we are not experienced much. It's only 6 months ago we started for NAATI, but actually our experience has got more than 17 years of experience in education sector, consulting for Australian registered training organizations and dealing with education sector, dealing with education issues, working with local communities, local councils, and so many skillful ideas we give for lifelong learning.
Okay.
And we also did our research with language literacy numeracy. So we have come up with a lot of experience, huge life experience we are bringing for this NAATI CCL test because of the social situations, because this language test requires a lot of social situations, a lot of lifelong learning is required for the people who are actually teaching, or for the people who are actually standing for the students, and this preparation, this needs a structure, and we are very well versed in creating this vocabulary, in creating this syllabus, in creating multiple mock tests for the students in multiple languages: Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, Punjabi, Bangla. So these are the 5 languages we are teaching at the moment for
Okay.
multiple around the Australia, conducting classes through Google Meet, and we also give the mock test, giving the example of Microsoft Teams, because NAATI CCL test will happen on Microsoft Teams, where you don't have to download. What they do is they give you a guest web link, like how we are talking now. There is a web link. We click, we put our name, we keep talking. It's the same way. You'll get a link as a candidate. Will get a link. They'll also get a calendar invite for the test, and then they'll ask you to move the camera around the room, making sure the candidate is actually not cheating by having someone. If let's say if I am sitting for Nati Punjabi, and if I have Rajbir on a different camera helping me, because Rajbir is Punjabi, and I'm
Yes,
not.
yes.
And we used to have an option. There is only 2 options for people who are sitting for NAATI Telugu. Prior to 15th of July, they were all attending NAATI Hindi or NAATI Punjabi. Those were 2 options, pretty much. Now we have Telugu as an added language, which is good. Um, and advantage with educator, as I explained, we bring a lot of experience. We are there from so many years. So that is one thing. And with NAATI, we had we have done research of nearly 30 days of research on syllabus before we even started with Telugu. So there are so many man hours has gone into this, and helping with the best materials what we have. So that's the advantage, by going through with educator. Yes.
Okay. My next question is, like you mentioned before, like people can apply for review and they need particular 60 above marks. But when can they apply for that? Once they get result, they do have to wait it, or they can apply straight away?
Okay. If the candidate failed the test, immediate they can apply. Okay. And for the applying for applying this test, there will be eligibility questions from nati.com.au.
Okay.
When you go to this website, there is a button there, book CCL test. When you click on it, you'll be asked some questions, and you need to enter your passport number, date of birth, and all this. Once you are eligible to take the test, you can take the test, and you need to choose the language. The candidate has to choose the language, which language CCL test they're actually attending, and choose the right language, and look at the dates available, book the test, and you'll get a calendar invite online through an email. Accept it. It will be saved, and you will also text message and all that. And just a lot of people, a lot of candidates will be coming to us for coaching in Telugu, but they also book for Hindi. Okay. So what happens is, you cannot book the test on the same day at all. We never encourage to book the test on the same day. Always book it. Yes, if you want to book multiple languages, you can do it. But once you achieve the test score, please cancel the other test because you don't have to attend multiple times. But if you believe you have failed for the test, obviously you have an option to
So
book it.
this process is same for both. Like if they fail the test, they can apply straight away, and if they want to review, they can apply straight away review as well.
Yes. For review,
Okay.
I would encourage email to info@nadi.com.au. They will
Okay.
send you related procedures after Corona because of ACBC. There are a lot of changes with Nati as well. So they will actually email if there is any compassionate grounds or something. Sometimes people have some technical issues because they're not ready with the headphones. They're not ready with the computer, appropriate computer. There is no camera not working. Oh, sorry, we can't move the camera or something. Then they'll cancel the test. So cancel the test and it's non-refundable. So we really have to be careful when we really prepare for this exam. And prior preparation is very, very important.
Okay. Moving towards again, I want to ask you a question. Like, for this type Nati test is basically for PR basis. So people do get only 5 points, or they do can get like a 10 points.
Oh, all right. This test.
I'm just trying to help the students as well, so that how many points they can get,
Yes. Yeah, I know because for PT, someone has asked, sir, I have done my PT. Can I get 30 points? Hey, no, that there is immigration has given allocated. See, there is an allocation of points from Australian Immigration Government Department. So the allocation is like this, because I don't want to talk about points being not a qualified migration MARA agent. I'm not supposed to, but academically I'll talk, as a pedagogical researcher. From the skill side, from the language side, from LLM side, I'll talk about it. So immigration has allocated some points, which is 5 points allocated for Nati, not more than this. If you want to achieve more points, then you have to go for PT. If you really want to achieve more points, then you have to really help Australia by working in regional area, by settling down in regional area. So there are a lot of categories, how the point system has been allocated. Please do email it to us. Please give my email address to anybody. I'm not here to charge money for any advisory service. What I'm doing today. This is
That's really great, helpful. This is really nice. At the end of the session, we'll definitely give your email address and your contact number so that everybody can reach you very easily.
Thank you. So that's how it works. There is a 3 years expiry. Before I forget, guys, whoever is watching this interview, for Nati CCL credentials, there is a 3 years of expiry. So if your credentials has expired, you can take the test again. But you can apply 6 months prior to the test only, because if once the credential is expired, that 6 months, if there is 6 months of expiry is left, make sure you apply before 6 months. And there is a paid review. As I said, the review is also payable to Nati. And I have to be very clear on this as well, because somebody has called me the other day and asked me, sir, I want to book Nati test with you. I said, no, sorry, we are only coaching provider. We are coaching. You cannot take the test with us.
Yes.
We're all working from homes because of the COVID restrictions. That's first thing. Second thing is we're only coaching through video meetings, like how we are doing now. And the last thing is they have to go to nati.com.au and book a test from there, because it is an endorsed council for CCL, for Community Credential Language.
Okay. So my next question is, like, some students, they work in a service station, and if they miss the class, can you provide one-to-one classes to them? Or like sometimes if they are sick, they can't make the class on the time, can we give them the extra time on other day?
Okay, now you're talking about, it's a good question again. You're actually asking how our coaching will work, with the flexibility, keeping the fairness of the candidates coming to us to get the coaching. See, I believe in one thing, like fairness, and I always do validation myself, how others are doing, what extra thing, what we are providing, what is the competitive edge, and what is that empathetic characteristic we carry as a company, as a coaching institute. So we are very flexible. If they miss any classes, we provide the recording. Number one. If they want to attend more classes, yes, we'll keep it very flexible, that until they can choose, sir, I have 2 months to prepare for the test, can I attend more classes? No problem, we have morning and evening classes. You can choose as many classes as you can. We will never stop that. And we also have online portal where they will actually access to this portal. They have a login and password. They'll access to their materials. They'll access to the dialogues for preparing. Even after their work, before work, whatever the time they plan their day. It's There is always a time for educator Nati coaching material. So where they can spend time, they'll be preparing themselves, and we give them vocabulary so that they don't forget the words. We give homeworks where so that they can practice the dialogues as part of preparation for the test.
Yeah, that's what my next question is. Like, you are providing online portal, as you mentioned. Like, some people are stuck in India, so they can be to the online classes from India or any other states or any other country if they want to.
Yes, they can, because
Okay.
people, anybody can take our coaching, and anybody can attend this test from anywhere in the world. Because see, Corona has done a lot of good things also. This is another good
Yes.
where another good thing is the principles of assessment, which is they made it very fair to the people, no matter where they are. So it is very flexible and very. Yeah.
Okay. So it's just few more question about your institute. How frequently do you run Nati batches? And like, is there any special discount for Telugu languages? Or any other discounts you're providing to students? I know I'm asking question, but I'm asking questions behalf of students, whatever they're typing. I'm just trying to explain
Mm,
it.
no problem.
You
We
know,
are.
during this COVID time, people lost their job, so they are trying to know if they are getting any special discounts through this time period. So that this is what my question is.
No problem. Thank you, viewers, whoever is watching. And at the moment, this is a very critical question asking about institute
Yes.
and its credibility of what we do, right? So I
Yes.
keep it very simple. Rather, I advertise, I really talk about anything, what I do and what we do as a team. But our trainers are subject matter experts, language experts, who has gone through a lot of research, in the background. For every class they actually prepare for so many hours and sit for this kind of class. Like if they're sitting in front of a camera, they make sure they do a lot of research and sit there. They And also for the preparation course they give a lot of materials, and they keep it very flexible. They can give additional classes. So please contact us, with all these coaching inquiries, okay, especially our institute.
Yeah.
But other than this, no problem. We are flexible. With our fees is very reasonable. Everything is has been advertised on the website. Very fair,
Okay.
very transparent. There is nothing we hide. That's the difference. I can say that the competitive edge of educators, we have nothing to hide. I'm the CEO. I keep it very simple. People can approach me, and I'm coachable. I listen to your feedback. We take your feedback on board. We take decisions. We really act on every problem immediately. And we are local business. Australian business, regulated by Australian government. So what else I can say about education?
My next question is, some institute provides like unlimited training or unlimited materials to students. Do you provide those type of services as well?
Yes, we do provide, but there is a fee category difference. Because some students ask me, sir, I have only $100, but please teach me. Will I say no? No,
Yes.
we never say no. Okay, no
Okay.
problem. We'll work it out. Okay. Then we clearly say, hey, how much you get paid? Do you have a job? Sir, I'm jobless. No problem. Don't pay the bill. If someone says, because see, this is the thing, because international students, they go through a lot. And I
Yes.
came as an international student myself. And I've gone through the same journey, And at the time of COVID, Corona situation around the world, it's a global crisis going on at the moment, and we made it very flexible in all the 6 months. We were so flexible. People who could, we clearly said to them, could you please send an email? What is your financial situation? Are you working? Blah blah blah. Then they'll write to us. Okay, no problem. Go ahead, make sure you help your family. Your parents have spent so many thousands of dollars and sent to Australia. Okay, we are not here to force you to pay that $500 what we are asking as a fee. Okay, but our standard fee is $500. It's not expensive, and we also work with other people as well. No problem. I don't see if other naughty coaching institutes are there. I don't see them as a competition. No, we never see them as a competition.
That's
If
really
someone
nice. That's really good.
absolutely, if someone wants to study from the next door, please, no problem, go there, because they have to survive. Because we have so many other things.
Yeah.
We are a research company. We have a lot of other services to survive, but they're just surviving on Nati. No problem, go to them, help them.
Yeah. So just want to know about few more questions. Like, for the PR basis, people are, it's hardly try to get on the points. Like if the IT and accounting people, they are fighting for their points at the moment. So for
Yes.
that basis, do you recommend they can do or both test parallel basis like PTE and the NAATI test, or they can give PTE first and then NAATI test? Like those few questions, if you can explain about.
Okay, good question. So all these we have written on the website, but I'll also explain. So
Yeah,
please give our web link with the Nati, PT, all this information which we have written. So what we
because
did,
you're providing this all type of test, right? In your institute, people can do PT, people can do NAATI test. So that's why I want you to
no,
explain
no,
the more
absolutely.
of that here.
No problem, no problem. See, my recommendation, as I'm experienced, in this area, my recommendation is make sure you give at least 1 month gap between PT and NATI test. At least 1 month. Reason
Okay.
is, big reason is they'll have a lot of students. They'll go nervous when they have tests one after the other. So we don't want the nervous thing, some psychological distraction, whatever they're going through in their life. This 30 days
Uh-huh.
will give a time frame to prepare between both the tests. Okay, and with PTE, educator has actually partnered with Turner English. Turner English is an established ELICOS provider, for English language intensive course for overseas students. That's the expansion of ELICOS. So Turner English is an ELICOS provider who has got so many years of experience from the day they started, from the day PT has been introduced. Turner English and their trainers and the CEO is very, they have a good relation with educator. So we both have worked out a model to help the students at a very decent fee for PT and also for Nati combined. We are giving it a very, very low fee, because even for PT unlimited course, we are charging only $499. So when we combine together, if someone wants to take both PT and Nati as a package, we are only charging $960. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I talk about fees and all what we do and all this, it may look, it may appear boring to the audience, but I keep it very simple. I'm talking about the price because this is to help you. This is to help all the international students. Even if you have any feedback about fee, if you see a better fee structure from somewhere, we give additional 5% discount to you.
Okay.
Okay? Because we don't want the students to struggle. We beat with the quality and also with the price. And especially with the trainers, what we bring on board, they're all experienced. They're all versatile.
Yeah.
more good vocabulary than many other people who are actually having a board and sitting with Nati, teaching Nati and PT coaching, and no idea, what people are being taught. That is where the quality, when the quality is compromised, we always raise questions.
Yeah, that's why I ask you this question, because in word test for PTE NAATI, vocabulary and grammar is an important part for both tests. That's why
Yes.
I ask you the question, if any student want to do both as a parallel on basis, so they are okay to do that, or they should give gap in word test.
Yeah, gap is better. Yeah,
Gap is
gap.
better. Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
because
fine. That's totally fine. Yeah.
for PT, they have to prepare speaking, writing, reading, listening, right? For Nati, it's listening and speaking. It's listening and speaking. There is no reading and writing.
Okay. All right.
That's the difference. And yes, people are achieving good score for PT required.
Mm-hmm.
As is equal to IELTS more than 7 at the first attempt from Turner English, partnered with educator. So it's a combination of both. Where we work together to ensure the student is achieving appropriate score with PT also.
And just the next question for that is, like those type of tests, it's also affect like age factors coming. Like, is there any age factor for the PR basis? Like, that's what I want to know a bit about that.
Anything to do with the age and points, that's completely related to the migration and visa.
Okay.
So, as I said to you, we are skill-based company, not labor-based services. So, labor-based services is migration agency, and we are skill-based service where it is a coaching institute. So, I keep it very simple so that let me give you some background on here, okay? Because Australian regulation is very strict. Only qualified people have to uh, uh, teach. Only qualified people has to talk about any relevant subject matter. For example, I'm a trainer. I train trainers in Australia. So I'm qualified to teach trainers, especially
Okay.
like certificate 4 in training and assessment, diploma of quality auditing. So these kind of courses, I'm qualified to do that. I always talk about these things. And anything with the life problems, anything with the community issues, I always listen. I'm here to listen to those problems, to convert those problems into opportunities. Okay, anything to do with the communication, we always welcome. So our company has got a lot of competitive edge compared to so many other commercial organizations in Melbourne and also Australia.
Okay. Before we come to the conclusion point, would you like to say something more about the test?
Something more about the test, I think I've given pretty
Or
much.
anything, would you like to say anything? You would like to mention
Uh,
anything?
See, that's right. Yes. As a QMS, as a quality management system consultant,
Yeah.
if a business is struggling because of Corona, okay, so I really want to give an open statement here in front of so many audience watching. If you are struggling, if your business is struggling, please contact us, contact me, contact our office, and get an advice what to do next. Because as a quality management system consultant, we set up your processes, we avoid your duplications, we make sure we automate your processes. Okay, we help you, we actually walk with you, and even if we don't know something, we actually bring another subject matter expert, because we never say we are master of all. This is the reason for all the students who are watching this interview. Please keep your field of education and your occupation same. Then PR will come to your field.
Yeah.
Okay, because I never know what is PR. When I came to Australia, I don't know what is PR. Now
Yes.
now every student is talking about, sir, PR, sir. What do you
Yes.
know about PR? You have a lot of
Yeah.
steps. Step 1, 2, 3, 2 years course, relevant course, relevant education, relevant job. Don't work in 7-Eleven. You're an accountant, you work as an accountant and keep moving. then PR comes to your feet. You
Yeah,
are in a country where you have to have a a good English skills, right? And if you're
exactly.
if you're
That's what I want to know. One more thing, like this test, it's not only help for the PR basis, but people can do work as a interpreter for future basis, right?
okay,
So
okay, careers. Okay, good question. Sorry, I missed that point. My apologies. Career by learning other than language other than English. By learning Telugu,
yeah,
I can have a career. I'm not here for a job. I'm here for a career. Always, this is what I can. This is what I always talk to. I request everybody, please listen to this discussion. We are not coming to Australia for PR. No, we are coming to Australia to contribute to the place where we live.
yeah,
To understand the community, to contribute back to the community. For that, we have to be skilled person. Never think Department of Immigration PR is your end of the life. There are so many other regulatory bodies. Department of Human Services, Department of Education is there, which is bigger body than which is a bigger body which regulates the skills, not the labor. Now your people are worried about Department of Immigration, but they ignore the skills, but they are worried about labor coming to Australia. No, we need skilled labor for our country.
yeah.
We don't want dumbos to come to this country, isn't it?
Yes, true.
We want
We should
skilled.
be self first. We should skill
For that,
first before we think about anything else.
for
Exactly.
that, for that, we should never grow horizontally. We should grow vertically.
Exactly. Yeah,
We
that's
should grow
true.
vertically. So
Yeah,
people,
if they go by step, and if they focus on what there is priority, then I don't think so anyone have any issues. They can get easily PR, even they don't have to think about it.
correct. So
Yeah,
it's the people whom you associate with, it's the people whom you live with, it's the
yeah,
environment you're creating, your mindset, your work-life balance. There's so many things people have to work out when you really enter any country other than the country where you live. So if I live 17 years in Australia, 17, 18 years in Australia, and then if I have to migrate to India, it takes a lot of time for me to settle down.
okay, so
Okay.
I would
Same way,
like to say, yeah, yeah, no,
same,
just say,
same way we have done. We came all the way living 22 years in Australia, sorry, in India. Then you're a 22-year-old, you came here to do masters. Then how do you feel? Everything is new. You learn English. We don't know English back there. We learned English here, and a lot of people they study in language other than English back in their home countries. Like Mandarin or Telugu or Tamil, whatever, and they don't have English medium. Then what happens?
yeah,
We come here. We struggle. We have to struggle. We have to accustom to the needs of the country, understand the country model, and then be there. And a lot of people will be scolding the country where we live, where we really strive for migrating to this our proud Australia, and then you're really scolding and you're talking negative things about the country. That's wrong. you know
yeah. So I would like you to give a quick conclude to everyone so that they can keep touch with you, so that they can great help from you. And then I would like to thanks on behalf of me, TV. And I would really want to thanks to you for your help today. And I think I have cleared pretty much everything today in this
Thank you.
interview. So yeah, just with a conclusion. Yeah.
Thank you, Rasbir. Thank you, audience. God bless you. Have a nice weekend. Please get more information from us. There is a website, there is our email address. My contact number is public. We have nothing to hide. Please come with your problems. We love problems. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.